Good morning, good morning, good morning. This Big Mark coming at you in your face with the real. You know I gotta keep this thing bumping and jumping. Y'all know I was a product of abuse. Sexual, physical, mental, and even spiritual abuse. And I became a victim, a survivor, and an overcomer. But through my victim mode, I was in and out of the system in group homes all the way up till I was like 16. Then I got one more at 18 by luck. But I was in this system, and the system of California wrote me off. They said I was incorrigible, and they emancipated me, and they said I was no longer ward of the court. The state of California gave up on me. I got my homie, Darnell Sharpison, who we know as Gus. Those of you who know, y'all will know. And those of you who don't know, you will know. Man, I grew up in foster home. This man grew up in, what's it, reforms? What is it,
Reform schools.
Reform schools.
Juvenile detention.
Juvenile detention from
Group
the age
homes.
of what?
From the age of 11. From the age of 11, all the way till I was 18 years old.
So the age of 11. Where were you when you was 2 and 3?
Orphanage called Junior Village in Washington, D.C.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
See, I got caught up in the system with group homes and foster homes. He was with orphanages. I never was in an orphanage. Man, what is your first memory as a child of being in an orphanage at 2?
My first memory is the night I got into that orphanage is when I witnessed a domestic violence incident. A man was beating it on a woman, and they were in there fighting, and I was sitting in there on the floor crying after he slapped me to the floor when I tried to intervene, picking up some object, and I hit him and he slapped me to the floor. So I was just sitting there crying, and next thing you know, the police kick in the door and arrest him. And when the police asked, "Is this your child?" the gentleman says, "That little motherfucker not mine. The bitch left him here 3 weeks ago and ain't never been back. So nah, that he ain't mine." So as a result of that, that night I was placed under the control and custody of the Department of Human Resources because my mother had already abandoned me before I was born. So yeah, so that's that's been that journey. So that's when it started. So that's my first memory of life. That's it.
Wow. And that's something because I thought that I went through the system. Because I left home at 14. I became a part of the system. This man has seen the system, been in the system since he was 2 years old. I'm going to ask you a question. There are those like me who are struggling. And I know you've seen people in the system that were victims of sexual, physical, mental abuse, and in the system be abused, that are still living today, trying to be productive citizens in life, regular and spiritually. What would you say? What was the defining factor in your life that was the biggest turnaround? I mean, the moment where you knew your life meant something. What was the deciding factor?
Keeping it real with you, I was 13 years old, and I was in the reform school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
What year?
I'm 13, so
okay.
Yeah. And so, because of all that I was dealing with in that institution, I had decided that I was gonna kill myself, you know. And so I ran up on the top of the gymnasium, and I was standing there about to dive off. And at that time, I had developed into a number one diver in the institution of about 300 kids. And so I knew I was going to be successful with my attempt because I knew the correct dive to use. And so as I was standing on the ledge, um, I heard a voice speak out to me and say, Darnell, let me ask you two questions before you jump. And so I was like, yeah, all right, what's up? And the first question was, look down and tell me what you see. And so I looked down, and I say I see the black asphalt. He said, yeah, but describe everything you see down there. And so I described the basketball court, the lines on it, the painting on it, and he said, tell me where the limits are, where the boundaries are. And I was like, I don't understand. He said, tell me where the end is. And when I became silent, he said to me, you're looking at it. He said, if you jump right now, it's over, and you'll never, that's the end. He said, but now let me ask you question number 2. Look up and tell me what you see. And it was a beautiful day. The weather's probably like 90 degrees, blue skies, white puffy clouds were all in the sky. And you could see the sun in the distance. And then he said to me, where are the boundaries? And I said to him, I said, I don't know. I don't see any. He said, you're right, because there are none. And as long as you look up in life, you'll never be limited to anything you want to do. But if you look down, every time you look down, all you're going to see is this land, that asphalt. All you're going to see is the end. But if you continue to look up, I don't care what it is, the sun is going to rise every day until your last day. That was the deciding factor
Hey,
in my
Gus.
life.
Gus. I asked a specific question, yo. I'm gonna ask one more specific question, because I gotta be quick, and I can't be long, but it's gonna be strong. Listen, Gus, where are you right now as a result of that? What are you doing with yourself, homie?
Right now, I am a state trainer and professional development specialist for the state of Georgia. And so I go all around the state and train new social workers how to work with children like myself and Mark. So that's what I do right now. This is, what I was called to do. And that's what that same voice told me just a few months later, when I always ask, why me? Why am I going through this? And one day he stopped me and said to me, I want you to look out and look and see what's out there. And it was, about 300 young boys, of all races, and they had all been abused and abandoned and just, with mental health problems, physical issues, disabilities. And he said to me, you've always been asking why you. He said, this is why you. I need somebody to grow up and advocate and take care of these children here. But in order for you to be able to be effective and have the impact that is needed, I need for you to walk in their shoes. And from that day forward, I made the decision that I would grow up, become a social worker, and dedicate my life to that industry. And as a result of that, God has blessed me, and I have a beautiful life. I've never been to the penitentiary. I got thousands of people that I love and love me. Um, that I'm no longer an orphan. You know, um, the Bible says, when thy mother and thy father forsake thee, then I will take you in and raise you up as my own. And so, even though I never had a mother and I never had a father, I had God. And as a result of that, I'm a king.
Hey, we can't say nothing else but that. Yo, short, sweet, not long but strong. This is Mark Rideout, Darnell Sharperson. As most of y'all know, is Gus. Is here, live. And yo, thank you, Gus. And remember, falling is a lot like flying till you hit the ground. So keep your head up. Peace.
Peace.